Alright, we're a little under the weather today, but we're going to try to do another reaction video and not cough through it. Today we're reacting to VOICEPLAY's Greatest Showman medley, and I have already heard this. I listened to it with one of my friends who is a mutual VOICEPLAY fan, and I was really impressed with this arrangement. I really think Lane outdoes himself with this one, so I'm excited to unpack it and go into a little bit of detail about what the arrangement looks like for this medley. So let's get into it. Got my hot chocolate.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
So with this visual aesthetic we got going with the excuse me, that was gross. With this visual aesthetic we got going with the music box, a lot of the belt tones and stuff that they're creating, it kind of. Now I haven't played around with music boxes too much. I got one for my birthday when I was like 14. But you get a lot of like the sharper bell tones and stuff with that, so you'll hear a lot of that throughout this arrangement. And yeah, I don't know, I really like this visual aesthetic that they're going for with the music box. It's really creative. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. Buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore.
Taking your breath, stealing your mind,
and all that was real is left behind.
Now, I really like this intro that they do with the Greatest Show, the opening song of the movie, because it gives all five of them a chance to have their own solo lines and stuff. Like, we don't get to hear Lane sing very often, and I like that he takes the lead for a couple of little solo lines in this arrangement. I think that's really cool to hear. And then we have like the low subs with Jeff and our two tenors and Rachel. Everybody sounds really good in this opener, and it's a good way of like establishing who's who has what range, if you're new to VOICEPLAY. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, it's a really good way to introduce the piece.
Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream.
And that's something I didn't notice before, Lane with the wand turning on the light.
At you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see it's getting closer?
There's something breaking at the break of every wall. It's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go?
Every night I lie, the brightest colors fill my head.
Now this is something we're going to obsess over a little bit during this reaction. A lot of the time when Lane switches the songs, you hear different counter melodies and stuff that did not exist in the original song, and a lot of them even borrow from other songs in the movie, which we'll hear later on. But here, let's listen to this.
The brightest colors fill my head.
You hear how Cesar is doing the melody, and then Rachel and Ellie come in with the background they do like every night, and then they do Colors Fill My Head, and it's not in any like proper rhythm or anything. It's just like, it's a counter melody that Lane invented for this part, and I think that's really cool. I think that's a good arrangement technique. It's really innovative. Also, I really like Cesar's tone.
The brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me away.
Like, hear that? That's so cool. The way they build through like the arpeggiation, and then they both riff downwards.
The brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me away.
Yeah, I really like what they do with the backgrounds in this arrangement.
Think of what the world could be. A vision of the world I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take.
Now I'm gonna fanboy over Cesar. I really like his showmanship in every video he's done with VOICEPLAY. He's such a versatile singer, such a versatile actor. I really like him as an addition to this group. I think he's a very welcome addition.
What the world could be, a vision of the world I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take.
This is the greatest
Oh, a
show.
million dreams for the world we're gonna
Come alive, come alive. Go and write your life, let it burn so bright, reaching up.
Now the beatboxing kind of steals the show in this part with Lane, and yeah, I don't want to spoil what happens later with the beatboxing, but this is a very different take on "Come Alive." Like the way you feel the beat is a lot different, and I don't know how qualified I am to explain exactly how that works because that's not something I've put a lot of research into. But it's really interesting the way Lane arranged this to feel more like more pulsated in a halftime feel. When you hear the original, it feels very. You can feel the 4 very clearly, and you can kind of feel the 2 more clearly in this one. So I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but maybe that's something to listen to. How you kind of feel it, like moving at half the speed, and it didn't change the speed of the original song at all, not too drastically, but you can kind of feel the beat a little bit differently. So that's an interesting arrangement choice for this.
And write your light, let it burn so bright, reaching up to the sky, and it's open wide, you're electrified. When the world becomes a fantasy, and you're more than you could ever be, cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open, and we know we can.
There it is again, how, first of all, I really like Ellie's tone as the tenor 1. He has a very unique tenor tone to his voice, and it's something I enjoy listening to a lot. I think he's been killing it leading the tenor parts. But again, with I have to listen to that again just so I can talk about it clearly. When he says you're dreaming, Cesar and Rachel build up this chord, and then yeah, let's listen to this.
And you're more than you could ever be, cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open.
And then they go, come alive, come alive. Like, it's just little cool details that you hear all throughout every song that they cover. And I don't know, it's just so much, like, you're never going to catch them the first time you listen through. So you really have to go and listen to this arrangement a bunch of times before you want to catch all the cool background details that they're doing and stuff. It's a phenomenal arrangement. Let's continue, though.
Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open, and we know we can go back again to the world that we were living in. Cause we're dreaming with our eyes wide open. So come alive.
Now that's kind of an interesting section. That's what I was going to talk about before, how they all beatbox there. And this is what you get when you have the beatboxer arrange the piece. I don't care though, because it sounds really cool, and it's not something you get very often in a cappella groups like this. Yeah, it's just a cool addition. It's really interesting to go through and listen and hear what each person's doing, and that it feels like it'd be a bit of a waste of time to try to explain that right now, especially since I'm not like the most fluent person in the world of beatboxing. But I don't know, it's just kind of cool to go through and listen to that a few times, so you should go do that on your own time. But it's really cool.
So come alive.
You think it's easy. You think I don't wanna run away.
Now this one took me a little bit to sell me on the arrangement, because I really like Rewrite the Stars. It's probably my favorite song from the original soundtrack. But they change up the words a little bit so they can. Here, let's listen through this again, because I'm having a little bit of trouble explaining this without having something concrete to hold on to.
You think it's easy.
Like right there, you get that little ba-dum, and I'm having trouble pinpointing what instrument that's supposed to represent, to my shame. I'm better than that. And then they changed the words in this next line.
You think I don't wanna run away.
So in the original it says, you think I don't want to run to you. And then in this one they did, you think I don't want to run away. And then Cesar and Ellie do with you on the root, like up in a higher octave. Which, again, it took me a minute to sell that to me, because I really like how the original song flows. But I don't know, I've kind of come to appreciate that, because again, it's the creativity of the arrangement. It's these little things that Lane adds that kind of, I guess they amplify the feel that we're like in a music box, and it's really cool to listen to. There's just so much to unpack with this arrangement. We're not even halfway through, so we're gonna hurry it up a little bit.
There are mountains, and there are doors that we can't walk through.
I know you're wondering why.
Because
We're able to be just
You and me.
And we like that. I like hearing all of them get a little bit of a, like, even if it's just 2 words, they like that's a cool way to break up the line. It's really interesting.
Within these walls.
But when we go outside, you're gonna wake up and see it was hopeless after all.
And maybe controversial, but I kind of appreciate that they don't have Jeff do some super some super crazy low subharmonic there, because we know he can, and it's always impressive when he does. But sometimes you don't need that. Like, sometimes you'll make the arrangement feel complete if you just have him singing in the in like a comfortable bass baritone range. So like, it sounds really pretty there, and yeah, like, I'm not complaining. I think Jeff's subharmonics are really cool, and when they use them, they tend to fit the arrangement really well. But yeah, but like, there are moments like that where I appreciate that they can just have him sing with more passion than finesse. But it's cool. It's really pretty.
All the shine of 1,000 spotlights. All stars to steal from the night sky.
And this is another moment. So a lot of the time with medleys and stuff, you just go one song and then the next song and then the next song without any acknowledgement of how they interact. But in this arrangement, you can hear very clearly right here, Rachel is doing the melody of Never Enough, while Cesar and Ellie are still on Rewrite the Stars, but they're doing it in like a rhythm that better fits the tone of Never Enough. So like, there are these moments where you combine the nature of the songs, and I think it's really cool. Like, I'm gonna keep coming back to this. The way the backgrounds work in this song, it's just hats off to Lane, because this arrangement is just over the top.
Never be enough. Never be enough.
Now, the thing is, I'm not too familiar with Rachel as a singer, so whenever they give her a really high part like that, like we also heard it in the Wicked medley, I always like tense up when she's about to hit it the first time I listen to it, because I'm like, can she do it? And she does it. She has a very good like belty soprano range, which I didn't really expect at first when I first started hearing her sing with VOICEPLAY, because she is very clean in the lower like alto register as well. So I think it's really impressive how versatile, I like that word, versatile she is as a singer in both the standard female range and then the way high belting range. I don't know what note she's on, and my keyboard's off and I don't feel like waiting for it to turn on, but it's high. I don't know if it's the original key, in which case I think it's an E. I don't know. But either way, it's still really impressive.
when the sharpest words wanna cut me down.
So here again with the bell tones and kind of like establishing the music box feel, and also Cesar's tone again. I love this guy.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down.
I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out.
I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching out to the beat of drum. So I am brave,
I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be.
Now, okay, we have a little bit to unpack as we get to the end of the arrangement, but I also wanted to comment on how clean Ellie sounds in this upper tenor register. I think he's coming a long way. Like I said before, I think he's coming a long way as the lead tenor. Like again, his tone is really unique, but it sounds really clean. Like he sounds very comfortable in that upper register. So I think that's very commendable on his part.
Marching down to the beat of drum.
I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be.
This is the greatest show.
Oh, and we will come back home.
My favorite 3 seconds of the piece right there, and I'll explain why. So, Ellie lands on "This is me" in his octave, and then just goes, "This is the greatest show." I'm not gonna try to hit his note, but that's the root. So in the key, that's the root, like the first tone of the key, and that's the most comfortable note. That's the one that the ear likes. But then when Cesar does the "From Now On" part,
This is the greatest show.
Oh, and we will come back home.
and we will come back. Again, I'm sick, so I can't sing very well. And we will come back home. What that is let's start on 8. 8 is the same as 1 because they're an octave apart in terms of scale degree. 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 7, 8, and both the 9 and the 7 of the key of the scale clash with the root. So while Jeff is hanging on the root, Cesar is kind of like cradling the root, like he goes above and then he goes under, and both kind of clash. But then it sounds really like the resolution when he hits home. When he hits home, there you go. The resolution sounds really nice because he was basically teasing the root so often with that little 5-word melody. So I don't know what it is that I really like. Well, most people do. It's something that pleases the brain to hear like dissonance resolving, but I don't know why. I just love it so much here when Cesar resolves to Jeff's root. Like Jeff holds the root and Cesar like dances around it before resolving. I don't know why I love it so much, but like I just like listen to those 3 seconds on repeat.
I'm bruised, I am who I'm meant to be.
This is the greatest show.
Oh, and we will come back home. And we will come back.
A million dreams keeping me awake. This is me.
And I think that little cadence, "This is me," is a 4-5-1. Let me listen again.
Is this?
Yeah, that's a 4. Okay, so 4-5-1, which we get from Jeff. Boom, boom, ooh. Yeah, my subs aren't very clean today. But either way, the ending is another thing that took me a minute. That took a minute to sell me, but I really like it because it jives so well with the music box that we've been doing this whole arrangement. And I know I feel like I've been rambling a lot this video, but there's so much about this arrangement that you just need to really take the time to listen through and unpack. And this, like, I really loved the Halo theme that they did earlier in 2021. But honest to God, this might be my favorite arrangement that Lane has done for VoicePlay. I don't know, I think it's so incredible the way he makes all these songs work with each other. However, they're doing The Other Side dirty. I really like that song in the original, and it's the only one that they didn't use here. Even so, I really love this arrangement, guys. Like, this is one of my favorites that VoicePlay has done in the recent past, and I think you need to go listen to this if you haven't already. And if you have, go listen to it again and try to pick out these little details that I was trying to capitalize on. But yeah, I guess that's all I have for this video. I know I went on for a while, but it's because I really like this arrangement, and there's a lot that you have to unpack with it. So anyway, that's all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.